Okay, well, maybe we'll do the intro a few times. Crack the back. All right. Hi. Hi, my name is Marissa Lauren. I'm the host here at the Havens Diaries, and this is episode 1. Episode 1 is Dancing into Business. This episode is just going to be how I got into this, how I got into dance. It's my story, and then I will talk about what this podcast is going to be about. So thanks for joining me. My background as a dancer essentially started when I was very young. My mom put my older sister and I into dance at a rec center. It kind of just snowballed from there. So we did, I feel like it was jazz. There's like an inner joke between her and I because she remembers that dance, and it was grapefruit, 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 grapefruit. You think fruit, grapefruit, da 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 da. And so I remember a little bit of it, but I remember it because my sister and I would joke about how I would sing it. So from the rec center, we ended up going to a dance studio here in Hamilton, and it was awesome. We started in their recreational program, my sister and I, and it was so fun. They wanted us to do the competitive team, so we tried out for the competitive team. We got on there, and I remember being quote unquote good for the recreational team. Like, I remember there was me and another girl in the hip hop class, and you had to smile the whole time, and whoever smiled throughout the entire dance, they would give you a stamp on your hand. And I remember me and this other girl, I think her name was Jess. We were like in the front, and we were smiling the whole time, and the two instructors were like running over to fight to give us the stamp first, and that always felt really good. That was recreational. Going from that to the competitive team was crazy different. It almost felt like you were going from like top of the class in middle school to bottom of the class in high school. I felt a bit like I was the black sheep. I don't know if that's because of the people around me or just because I am socially awkward myself, but I felt like I struggled a lot to make friends. But my older sister was with me, so I kind of just felt like I was always her little sister or her younger sister. So it was a lot to be in her shadow, but it was fun for the most part. It definitely gave me qualities. Like, it made me a hard worker. It made me want to strive to always be better. So it has its pros and cons, but overall, I'm very thankful that we were able to do that. Near the end of my dance journey at the studio, I think I kind of just was coming into my own and to realize that, like, you know what, I really do enjoy dance. I don't think certain people in the dance world are for me, and I'm not for them, so to speak. I mean, you're definitely not expected to get along with everybody. I think as long as you are kind and respectful, that's all that matters. And I think that, like, the kindness and the respect got lost a little bit along the way. We had an instructor come into our studio, and I felt like she really changed the game for me. Like, she has been incredible. Amy Wysocki, her studio is AW Studios, I believe, AW Studios. It's in Burlington, so you could check her out. Her classes are amazing. I still take her classes now, so that's really fun. When you're in a dance studio and essentially you hit grade 12, it's your last year, you kind of also graduate from the dance studio. It was confusing. I was very unsure, essentially, of what I was supposed to be doing, but I felt like I had to go to post-secondary. And so I went to York University. I went the first year as an undecided major, which was a ginormous waste of money. I hated it. I hated everything about going there. If I could go back in time and change anything in my life, it would be not going to York. But no, actually, yeah, I stand by that statement. I was about to say, maybe it's provided me some lessons, but truthfully, I don't. I think I just wasted $40,000 going there. I took dance classes there, and I was intending to switch over to the dance program, and I went through all those steps and did the audition and everything. And right when I went to go write my last exam, I realized I hated it. I didn't want to do that. I was not enjoying the dance classes. I was not enjoying anything about being there. And I just stopped going. I did not write my last exam. I did not even return my mail key because I lived on, what's it called? I lived there, essentially, on res. I never looked back. And I had moved back home, which was a love-hate relationship. I was applying for jobs because when I went to York University, I was teaching dance in Brampton. And so every Tuesday and every Saturday, I would bus. It was like 2 buses or 3 buses to Brampton on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, and then I would bus back. I never wanted to give up dance. And so when I came back, I was looking for dance jobs. I was looking for like even admin at a dance studio. And I came across a gymnastics studio and they needed a dance coach. And I was like, oh, perfect. Applied. I met the owner. Her and I got along fantastic. She hired me. From that point forward, that was pretty much my sole job. I was like, to the nail. I was trying to make this dance thing work. Parallel to that, I also was thinking, okay, maybe I should still get some sort of schooling. I ended up going to Mohawk for small business and entrepreneurship. I don't remember ever having the thought of, I want to own my own dance studio. I don't know what I wanted to do, but I think maybe somebody suggested that to me, and I felt like I was good at helping other people with their work. So I was like, okay, like maybe that could be a path, Nowadays, I guess it's called like a business coach. I would never, ever, ever, ever classify myself as that because I don't even know really what that means. But I was like, okay, maybe I could just help other business owners take those like scary steps. And so I went to Mohawk for small business and entrepreneurship. It was a 1-year program. I did write my exam. I passed. I did not go to my graduation. I don't even really remember what I did with the paper. It felt good at least to be like, okay, I checked that box, like I got the paper that says I have education, now what? And then around that time, I came across a pole dance studio, and at the time it was called Brass Bombshells. Yes, Brass Bombshells. They were also looking for a dance instructor, and I applied and I met with the owner, and her and I got along great, and so she hired me, and I started teaching heels dance. I don't even know what year this was, 2016, 2017? Somewhere around there, I started, teaching heels dance for her. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I pretty much took the approach of, I'm just gonna teach dance how I would, but I have heels on. And to me, I was like, if I don't change anything about it, the heels are just the extension of me. And that was kind of the approach that I took. I feel like it's worked out really well for me. And in that time of me working there, I was still at the gymnastics studio, and I also ended up working at a supplement store, and I started working at Good Life Fitness. I, by that point, had moved out. I was essentially paying all my bills. I was paying for my car. I had a cat, so he needed food. Where was I going with that? Oh yes, okay, so fast forward, I'm teaching heels dance at Brass Bombshells. The studio has a rebrand to Bombshell Boutique. Awesome, love that. I really loved the environment. I loved meeting new people. Any of you that are watching this, I really enjoy looking back at those photos and those videos, and part of it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like I taught that. But the other part of me is like, well, that was a stepping stone in order to get to kind of where I am today and the knowledge that I have. Fast forward a couple years more, and we're into 2018 now. The owner of Bombshell Boutique had approached me and said, I'm looking to sell my business. She owned other locations. Those ones had already sold, and this was her last one. And she said, I think that you would be a good buyer. And at the time, I was 22. I have a late birthday. And at the time, I was like, sure, that sounds cool, I guess. I didn't realize what it meant. I didn't realize what she was saying. I don't know. At the time, I was like, yeah, I guess I could do that. Not realizing that I was about to buy a actual business, like someone's livelihood. So I went through all the steps for that. And because she had sold businesses in the past, she kind of knew these are some steps you can take, banks that you can go through for loans or grants and whatever. And it was a tough process. Let me tell you, as a 22-year-old female, you go to a bank and you say, I need a loan because I'm going to buy a pole dance studio, they will laugh you back out the door. I had to fight tooth and nail to even be heard by anybody. It was actually one of the hardest things I'd done in my life. I was focused on someone's now trying to stop me from doing this, I'm going to go full-blown psycho on you until I get what I'm going after. And that was kind of the mentality that I had. I think that my name ended up on enough people's desks that they were like, get this girl whatever she wants so she leaves us alone. That's what it felt like. I felt like I was just annoying them so much that they were like, give her what she wants. We don't want to talk to her anymore. And December 1st, 2018, I bought Bombshell Boutique, and I have now since rebranded into Our Haven Studios, and now here we are. December 1st, 2018, I bought the studio. I rebranded in 2020, and now here we are in 2025. So it has been almost 7 years of me owning it, which is crazy because to me, I hear that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's almost a decade. I mean, we're not there yet. We're not at 10 years, but 7 is so close. I'm very thankful for how that has all come about and everything that it has taught me and everyone that I've met along the way, from the good and the bad. Like, there's learning experiences truly from everything. That's kind of how I came to in dance and how I came to owning Our Haven Studios. Before there was Haven's Heels Company, there was Army of Sass, who was owned by Carla Catherwood. She had different chapters, so she franchised. We called it AOS for Army of Sass. There was AOS Toronto, AOS Hamilton Burlington, which is what we were. There was Guelph, there was St. John's, there was so many, like so many. It was so fun, and it was such a great community. And when Carla decided that she wanted to close up Army of Sass, each chapter in every area had to rebrand. And so that's how Haven's Heels Company came to be. I'm also very thankful that I've had that experience. Yeah. It's so hard without somebody asking you questions. That's kind of my background as a dancer and then as a business owner. At some point, I did quit all those other jobs. So unfortunately, I'm not working at the gymnastics studio. I left the supplement store. I left Good Life. Good Life was great. The stories that you would get at Good Life, that's a podcast for a different time. This is what I do full time. I'm an owner. I'm an instructor. I love it. I love it so much. There are things I don't like about it. Should I go into detail about that? I would say the thing that I dislike the most about owning a business in general is everyone has an opinion. And the worst sentence that I ever hear, and I never want to hear it again, is, you know what you should do? I hate it. At first, I used to really take it and be like, okay, this is what I should do. People are telling me, you know what you should do? I should do this, I should do that. I'm gonna say that like 8 times out of 10 doesn't work because they're telling me from their personal perspective, not even from a overall general client perspective. They're telling me what works for them. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned overall is that you cannot please everybody. It has been the hardest lesson to learn, and I'm working on that. Why is the studio so important to me? Why is the studio so important to me? Well, I felt like I was a bit of the black sheep at my studio growing up, and I don't think that was intentional. I think I'm just awkward, but I never, I don't want to get emotional. I don't think I ever fully received the support that I needed in my love language. Oh, Lord. Why is the studio so important? I love talking about Haven Studios to literally anybody that'll listen, because all I want is for every person that walks through the door to feel like they have a place and a space here. Even if you feel like a goof doing the class, whatever class it is, I want you to smile and feel a true moment of joy while you're in class. Obviously, this is our home-based location, and yes, we rent studio spaces elsewhere, but I don't believe that it is the location that makes it what it is. I believe that it is the people that are there. And I think those people do such an incredible job of making sure everyone feels seen, everyone feels welcome, everyone feels loved, and everyone feels safe. And that is all I care about, because I feel like that's what people deserve. And so that's what I want to provide. I feel like I have two personalities, probably more. I have the Marissa that stays at home, that likes to hang out by herself, with her cats, with her husband. She's an introvert. But there's a part of me that can go on stage in a bra and a thong and feel like that is also her home. I don't think I fully understand why. I feel like I'm derailing here. I've definitely struggled with my own body image issues, whatever you want to call them. And it frustrates me when people look at me and they see whatever they see and they'll make a comment, like, I don't know, like, but you're so skinny, or you're so lean, or you're so muscular. And I understand that I may be the goal of what they want to look like, but what you're also doing is invalidating how I feel. I haven't fully accepted, I think, that it's, the journey, not the destination. I feel like I'm always striving to be better, to do better, to look better. I don't even really know what that means. And so it's a lot of like these open-ended question marks. And this is what my hot topic is in therapy. I feel like I have a few different personalities. I got, the homebody that truly loves to be at home in her comfies, on the couch, not thinking, not doing anything. I feel like I have the hippie dippy version of me where all I do is wear like grass skirts and namaste, incense, yoga. Hates screens, that personality. And then I feel like I have the, I don't know, like Sasha Fierce one. That's the one that can go on stage in a bra and a thong and be totally in her element, be completely comfortable. I love it. I love being on stage and I love being at home. And I think that's cool that those are all parts of me. And being in the studio, I feel comfortable sharing every version of myself. And I think that's a really cool part of it, because I don't know many places that you can do that with. Like, I feel like I could come into class and I can wear sweats and a baggy sweater. I feel like I could come into class wearing a lacy top, booty shorts, garters. I feel like I could come into class wearing a Spider-Man suit. And people would be like, heck yeah. Like, it's cool. It's so supportive. I'm grateful that we've been able to cultivate this environment, because I don't know what I would do without it. So why is the studio important to me? Because it allows me to be all the versions of myself, probably at the same time, if I wanted. Well, what have we covered so far? We've covered how I got into dance. My mom had put my mom put my sister and I in a rec center. And from there, it snowballed into a studio recreational program, into competitive dance, into York University dance, into Mohawk Small Business and Entrepreneurship. And from there, I purchased Our Haven Studios. What is my vision for this podcast? My vision for this podcast is to talk and learn as much as possible to as many different people as I can. Going back to what I was saying previously, all those different personalities. One of my personalities does not shut up. She loves to talk, but not only that, she loves to learn about other people. As much as I want to share my story, I also want to learn about other people's stories. And so this podcast is going to be exactly that. It's going to be you coming with me, essentially, to meet other amazing, fantastic people that have not only experience in business, but experience in dance. It's going to be 12 episodes long, maybe a couple bonus episodes in there. Each episode is going to have its own theme and or its own topic. First one is me as a whole and kind of getting to know me. I would love any questions that you have. You can put them in the comments. You can put them in DMs, personal messages. You can reach out to me via email. My email is Marissa, Marissa, at ourhavenstudios.com. If you have questions about anything, please reach out to me. Overall, from this podcast, you can expect to learn with me, maybe learn a little bit from me, and just hear other people's stories in dance, in business, in life. And I think it's gonna be a really good time. So Buckle up. We got 12 episodes coming your way. All right. I think that's everything. That's all I got. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the Havens Diaries. I'm very, very grateful, and I can't wait to explore more with you. Bye.